Hi, I'm Matt Prim from Fitness with Matt, and I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the Sunday setup so you understand how to use it and kind of why it exists. So this is often what this image on the screen, it can feel like looking at your schedule for the week ahead, or it can do for me anyway. And the key reason why I created, I can't even speak today, created this is because a lot of the check-ins with my clients, what seems to happen is when there is a lack of planning and organization, there is often a feeling of being off track, off plan, or being a bit derailed, because most of the time it's not a lack of knowledge or willpower, it's the structure that is missing to people's lives, the organization, and that makes things harder than they actually need to be. You know, when the plan isn't there, it seems to be that there seems to be more emotional eating, skipped workouts, low protein meals, all these kind of little cracks start to form, and old habits creep back in. Because if you think about it, what's the first thing that goes out of the window when life gets cray cray? It tends to be with the clients I work with, the first thing that tends to happen is that the planning goes out the window and we're just flying by the seat of our pants. We almost think that by stopping and planning and organizing ourselves, we're wasting time when we actually need to be doing, but actually it's the other side. Because, for example, imagine this: you've got 30 minutes to pack for your holiday. This is probably what it's going to feel like, okay? And you're going to forget something, and it's going to be stressful, and it's not going to be much fun. Caveat, maybe if you're neurodiverse and have ADHD, like my other half, he would love this challenge. He would see it as, yes, let's see what I can do in 30 minutes. For me personally, hell. So, we don't make poor choices because we're lazy. We make them because our brains are tired or overwhelmed. You haven't given it space to think. I don't think anyone inherently is making bad decisions in their life or not meal prepping or not eating enough protein because of something that's wrong, and I say that in inverted commas, wrong with them. It's because they just we're all so overwhelmed, overstimulated. Sorry, I keep hitting my little mic arm and it's annoying me. So next I'm going to walk through why I created the Sunday setup and how it's going to help. It's going to give you a simple, repeatable weekly planning process that supports you without overwhelming you. It's going to reduce that decision fatigue. You're not going to have to decide in the week when you're busy, stressed and worn out, what shall I have for dinner? Oh, I've got to cook something now. Oh, there's no food in the fridge, because we are intentionally starting the week out with planning and organizing. It's going to build you some consistency with your food, movement and mindset. And it's going to reinforce like the I can't speak, the 80-20 food philosophy that underpins the Everyday Gay program and the clients I work with, the kind of like progress over perfection mindset and making space for social meals so we don't have to be all or nothing. So now I'm going to go through the document which you can download below. That is the Sunday setup. Nut areas, sections 1 to 3 are about food. And what we want to think about on nutrition is you want to think of it about packing a suitcase. And rather than having 12 different options, sections 1 to 3 are about having some reliable staples, like a go-to outfit that you're going to feel good, that works, that's easy. And that's what we're doing with our food here. So we're picking 3 easy go-to meals. We're making sure we've got 1 to 2 easy go-to proteins in the fridge that don't rely on you having to cook. And then the third section is about making fruit and vegetable easy and visible, because when you engineer your environment to make these choices as easy as possible, you're going to eat more of them. We are creatures of habit, but also convenience. So you need to make the choices you want to take as easy as possible. Now, section 4. It's a bit like you've booked some theatre tickets, but now you've got to look if there's any train strike. So you need to look at your diary and hopefully not scream like it looked like I was doing in that first picture. But you've got to decide where you're going to be flexible with things and where you're going to hold structure and stay to your normal routine. So, for example, are you going out for dinner this week? Are you away? Are you working away? What's happening? Is it going to be a high stress week? Because that's going to have implications on your like mental capacity, but also how you're feeling, your sleep, XYZ. And then we're going to decide where to stay flexible and where we need to hold structure. So, for example, where to keep things structured. Maybe it is that you're going to make sure you meal prep your lunches because you've got a busy week, you haven't got time to get out the office, and if you don't prep that, you're going to go for something that probably doesn't align with what you want, and you've got no time for that. Or it might be that, you're going to, for breakfast, switch it up for super simple. You're going to have some fruit and a protein pudding. Done. You haven't got time for anything else this week. But when it comes to flexibility, it might be, when life is a bit more unpredictable or you've got a bit less time or capacity for something. So, for example, with movement, with exercise, it might be that if you haven't got time to go to the gym, you're going to step up the steps you take. It might be that you do a YouTube home workout. It might be that you just in advance decide, do you know what, I can't do my full session. I'm going to do one set of everything. Get in, get it done, get out. It might be that you're going to be flexible because you've got someone's birthday this week. So you're going to not track what you're having when you're out, but you might want to follow the 2 out of 3 rule that I have, whereby out of starter, main, dessert, and alcoholic drink. That's 2 out of 4, isn't it? You have 2 things. So, for example, you can have a starter and a main, or you can have a main and an alcoholic drink. You can have a main and dessert, but then you're going to have like a Coke Zero because then you can have a drink, but it's not any extra calories. So that's being flexible. Okay, it's about where you're going to allow yourself a bit more freedom. So yeah, this is a key thing. I didn't read the screen. Where would structure support me and where would it stress me out? So for example, if you trying to get 3 workouts in this week is going to stress you out, but actually getting 1 or 2 in is going to feel more doable. That's an example. If you do tend to go into all or nothing kind of thinking, is there somewhere you need to be more flexible? This is going to really help you. Is there somewhere you need to maybe put some things down to allow yourself to at least maintain in other areas? So, for example, do you know what? This week I haven't got time to prep all my meals. I've only got time to prep my lunches. So, okay, I need to put down the other things and just go for some easy options and do the best I can with what I've got. So the idea in sections 5, 6, and 7 are about having a plan B. It's like having a portable phone charger if you're out and about and you know your battery's going to run out. So it's about, okay, well, what are the minimums I can do with my movement? What is my plan B? What is my backup meal? Is there something you can grab quickly from a supermarket or order in that's always available but also aligns with what you want to do? And for example, a backup movement option. So the easiest thing would be to get some steps in because life is going to happen. So having some preemptive measures, some expectations, some plan Bs is going to help you. Then finally, what is it that that's grounding you this week? For example, keep showing up in small ways. It could be something like, it doesn't need to be perfect. Something is better than nothing. You'll have heard me say this all the time on my socials. Remember, in the words of Martine McCutcheon, she didn't say this, by the way, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need a perfect moment. This is my moment. Love that song. So planning can help just ground you and help you to navigate through the chaos. It's about being prepared enough to make the choices you want to make feel easier, even when life is lifing. Anyway, I've gone on for more than long enough. The PDF is the PDF is down below. Download it, get stuck in, and let me know how you get on. Bye!